Good afternoon, everyone. In yesterday's class, we were discussing about power MOSFET. We have seen that power MOSFET, or generally MOSFET, is a majority carrier device. Um, and also we have seen that the structure of MOSFET, how it will conduct when a gate signal is applied and when a gate signal is not applied. That and all we have discussed yesterday. Then later we have gone for this transfer characteristics and output characteristics. From the transfer characteristics, we have understood that when the gate voltage is less than threshold voltage, the MOSFET is in off condition or cutoff state. When the gate voltage is almost equal to threshold voltage, the MOSFET is in active region. Um, so the output current is proportional to the gate source voltage. And for higher values of gate voltage, MOSFET will turn on completely. That is, actually it is in ohmic region, and there will be a resistance between small resistance between drain and source terminal. We have discussed structure and then later steady state characteristics. And in the steady state characteristics, we have also discussed transfer characteristics and output characteristics. And also in yesterday classes, we have almost completed switching characteristics of MOSFET, but not fully completed. So today also I am going to discuss this. In the switching characteristics of MOSFET, whenever we are learning switching characteristics, we need to consider the internal uh, component or parasitic component. Actually, I can say that word parasitic component inside the structure. So I can say that in a MOSFET, there are three parasitic capacitor or three capacitance. Actually, we can say it capacitance present in a MOSFET. So the first one is capacitance between gate and drain terminal. That is this one. And the second one is capacitance between gate and source terminal. And third one is capacitance between drain and source terminal. So while analyzing switching characteristics, it is very important to consider these capacitance. And we have done for the BJT also. While analyzing switching characteristics of BJT also, we have uh, um, we have given importance for base emitter junction capacitor and collector base junction capacitance. But while we are evaluating steady state characteristics, we actually no need to focus on these capacitance because it is a DC supply and it won't affect, this capacitance will not affect much on the characteristics. But of course, when we are learning switching characteristics, because it works at high frequency, we need to concentrate on these capacitance. So in the MOSFET, mm, MOSFET, we have actually three capacitance, CGD, CGS, and CDS. Uh, now we can see that which is more important and which is the least important. Since charge carriers flows from drain to source or in this direction through this RDS, or charge carriers flows from between drain and source through this resistance, actually the importance of this capacitor is the least. There is not that much importance to that capacitor. But we are applying input between gate and source terminal, so the capacitor CGS have much more importance, and also capacitor CGD has also have some importance. So while analyzing the switching characteristics of MOSFET, we need to focus on CGS and CGD. And then we have seen yesterday this is actually switching characteristics of MOSFET. Um, we have analyzed this waveform yesterday itself, how this has come based on these four diagrams. And now I can say that there are four, we can, actually this we can divide into two parts. This is for on time and the second one is for off time. And this on time we can divide into four parts. This first one is this one. During this interval, or I can start from the first. Initially, assume that the MOSFET is in off condition. There is no gate voltage is applied. So this is nothing but VG, gate voltage is not applied. And there is no VGS, that is voltage across gate and source terminal. What is the difference between VGS and VGS? VGS what we are applying, and VGS is what is actually present in the present between gate and source terminal. And here we have voltage and current, voltage across drain and source, and also we have current through the MOSFET. So initially it is in the off condition. Then after a certain time interval, we are switching it on. We are applying a positive pulse at this moment. So initially there was voltage across VGS was 0. Then when we have changed this one, the capacitance between gate and source starts slowly charging. This slowly starts charging. So at that time, the voltage between gate and source is less than threshold value. So there will not be any current flow through the MOSFET. See, during this time interval, that is, I can show you this between this line and this one, the voltage between gate and source terminal is less than threshold value, and it is like a CGS capacitor slowly started charging, and it has not reached the threshold value. So since the voltage across VGS is less than threshold value, the MOSFET is in off condition. There is no current flow through the MOSFET. VGS is maximum. You know that when a switch is off, voltage across it is maximum and current is zero. We can see the equivalent diagram of that same thing. So there are two capacitor represented. We have neglected the capacitance between drain and source. Actually, if you draw this is gate terminal, and this is drain terminal. This is source terminal. So it is open between drain and source. It is open circuit. There is no current flows, and you can see that there we have neglected that capacitance. It is there actually here, but we are neglecting that, and actually there are two capacitors, CGD and CGS. And here we are applying gate voltage, and VG is connected to this capacitor, and this capacitor, the capacitance between gate and source starts charging. That is what we have discussed in the waveform. The capacitance between gate and source is uh, starts charging. And what about the other capacitor? Other capacitor will charge, but it is charging in a resistive path that is not directly connected to ground. If you see that CGS, the other terminal of CGS directly connected to ground, but the other terminal of CGD is not directly connected to ground. So CGD will start also it will start charging, but the charging rate is uh, slower than the CGS. Okay, so this diagram, this diagram corresponds to this timing interval. So what happened? It is we have turned on the gate supply, but there is no current flow through the MOSFET. That is because the capacitance between gate and source terminal is slowly charging. There is a capacitance between gate and source. It is slowly charging. So the voltage, whatever we are applied, is not directly has come to come between gate and source terminal. The capacitance between gate and source terminal is slowly charging. And during the next time interval, we can observe that the during the starting of next time interval, the voltage between CGS has almost reached threshold value, so that the MOSFET is in active region, and the capacitor CGS continues to charge. So during this time, we know that in the active region, as the gate source voltage increases, the current also will increase. So during that time, the current will increase. Okay, there is no change in VDS because we know that according to Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Even though the current I is increasing, the resistance is decreasing, because if you observe the second diagram, the capacitor in the first cycle, the capacitor is almost charged to threshold voltage, and in the second diagram, this is the second diagram, the capacitance value is equal to threshold value, and it is partially on condition or it is in the active region. So when it is in the active region, and there is a resistance present between drain and source terminal. So this capacitor can charge like this also. So there is a resistance. As the voltage between gate and source is increasing, this value of this resistance will decrement. Okay, the value of that resistance will decrement. So we can see that from this diagram, V is equal to IR, and the drain current is increasing as the gate source voltage is increasing, but at the same time resistance is decreasing. So this I into R is almost constant. So that is the reason why VDS is not changing, this almost constant. So at this point, I current has reached the maximum value. Resistance is almost zero. So what should be the voltage? Voltage means since resistance is zero, voltage should become zero. So it reduces to zero. Current is maximum, and the voltage is reduces to zero. That is what the on condition. When a switch is turned on, ID is current is maximum and voltage is zero. But here you can see that the capacitor is not charging or not discharging. It is almost constant. The reason for that is we will get from the third diagram. That is the third interval I am going to explain now. Which is the third interval? Third interval is interval from this line to this line. This is the interval. So what we can observe is during that interval, voltage has dropped from maximum value to zero value, but also the voltage across VGS is almost constant. That means the capacitance between gate and source terminal is not charging, and also it is not discharging. The reason for that is, as I explained in the previous diagram, this was the second diagram. As in the diagram, this resistance value slowly decreases, and at the end of second cycle, this value almost becomes zero. Now you see that this capacitor is almost directly connected to ground when the resistance value is zero. And at the same time, we have the other capacitor also, CGS also. CGS is previously charging in a faster manner. CGD was in a slower manner. That means CGS is almost charged to some 70 to 80 percentage, and CGD is only charged to some 10 percentage. Assume like that. So when you have such capacitors with you, which will draw maximum current, a capacitor which is charged less will draw maximum current from the circuit, and the capacitance which is charged almost full will draw minimum amount of current. So what happens? There is no current flow through gate and source terminal. All this current from the gate supply will flow to CGD. So there is no current flow to the gate source terminal. So the capacitor is not charging, and also it is not discharging. So that is the reason for this constant value. So once the CGD is fully charged, it stops charging and the current flows through the gate source terminal. So the again CGS will start charging again. So that is the reason for the fourth cycle or fourth time period, this interval. And the diagram or the reason for that is available here. That is the reason for that is the CGD capacitor. Actually, that is not shown here because it is fully charged. There is no current flow. So remaining current flow will flow to CGS or the terminal between gate and source, and the capacitor continues to charge. So that is the reason for this one. So we almost get a curve like this, and till where it will charge, till where the voltage across VGS is equal to VG, that much time it will charge. So once it is fully charged, the MOSFET is in on condition. It continues to in the on condition, and till this point, the MOSFET is in on condition. It is working like a switch on switch. The current is maximum and voltage is minimum. And when it reaches this position, uh, because of that particular application, we need to switch off that MOSFET. So what we are doing, we are applying a reverse voltage. So because of that reverse voltage, what happened is um, we have applied VG negative. What happened to VGS? So whenever a reverse voltage is applied, it is the switch has to stop immediately, but it is not stopping immediately because the capacitance CGS is charged fully. The charge inside the CGS should discharge. So it slowly discharges. And what happens? It slowly discharges, but again, the same MOSFET continues in the on state because it is more than the threshold voltage. And then later, it is not discharging and also it is not charging. Again, there is a reason for that because after the first time interval, this has got some resistance value back. That is when it changes from on condition to active region, the resistance will come back. And at that time, this capacitor has to discharge. So initially it was charged like positive and negative, and now this capacitor discharges in the same manner. So because of this capacitor, the discharging of CGS also will stop. So that is the reason for this constant value. So during that time, voltage VDS reaches from 0 to maximum, and it reaches its maximum value. And when the capacitor CGD discharges fully, CGS again start discharging, and also since it comes below the threshold value, because whenever it is discharging, the voltage across that capacitor will reduce and it will automatically come below the threshold value, so it discharges to the zeroth value. We know that when the voltage of this one VGS is less than threshold value, the current will become zero and MOSFET will goes into the off state. So that is the reason. And this is something like initially it was in ohmic region, and then later in this part, this has come to active region, and slowly it goes to cutoff region. MOSFET is completely on. So the conclusion what we can do is the turn on time of MOSFET is nothing but the sum of delay time, that is TD on, plus time of rising time of current TRI, that is the current ID to change from 0 to maximum, and then the falling time of voltage, that is voltage dropping time interval. So it is the on delay time of MOSFET is the sum of all these three, and off delay time is TD off, that is because of this capacitance charge, and TRV, rising time of this voltage from 0 to maximum, and falling time of this current. So TD off, total off time is TD off plus TRV plus TFI. So that is what we understood from this um, characteristics of switching characteristics of MOSFET. So all these four diagram correspond to section 1 and 2, 3 and 4. And while explaining, while learning this one, we can something like we can draw a line here, and the second part is almost the mirror image of first part. So you can learn like that. Whatever reason for this curve uh, uh, is just opposite for the other part. So charging, discharging, like that you can explain. And when here initially voltage reduces from maximum to 0, then here it is first. Actually, here this after current rises from 0 to maximum, voltage falls. Here the current voltage rises from 0 to maximum, then the current falls. You can explain that. Also, you need to consider that the same, you have to understand this clearly, because the same diagram is applicable for IGBT. Almost the concept is same. There is little bit additional things you need to learn, but the 90% is that both the characteristics are same. Okay. Emergence of MOSFET. What are the advantages of MOSFET over BJT? Because we have learned only two switching devices or three switching device: power diode, BJT, and MOSFET. Power diode is entirely different because we actually no need to control that. There is only two terminal. Whenever it is forward bias, it conduct; reverse bias, it will not conduct. So the second one was BJT. It was a current controlled device, and we have then learned MOSFET, voltage controlled device. Now we have two switches. We are comparing both. MOSFETs are majority carrier device. So since it is a majority carrier device, the switching on and off time is less than the BJT. BJT is actually working based on majority carrier and minority carrier. And the second point is MOSFETs have positive temperature coefficient. That or we can add one more word to it: positive temperature coefficients of resistance. So whenever temperature increases, the resistance between drain and source also increases. So what is the advantage of that? When temperature will increase, whenever there is a fault in the circuit, the temperature will increase. So whenever there is a fault in the circuit, the temperature will increase. Sorry. And also the resistance will also increase. So what will happen when resistance is increasing? Current will reduce, so the fault rate will come down. But in the case of BJT, it is actually negative temperature coefficients of resistance. What will happen is whenever temperature increases, resistance will decrease. So whenever when temperature will increase, whenever there is a fault. So when there is a fault, the temperature will increase, resistance will decrease. Whenever resistance decreasing, current will increase. Again, the reason for temperature increment will temperature will further increments to maximum value, and finally the component will damage. And third point is drive circuit is very simple. It is very easy to control MOSFET than any other switching device. And MOSFET have short turn on and turn off type, hence it can be operated for higher frequencies that we have already discussed. And MOSFET do not require any commutation device, commutation circuits. That is for turning off on and off is much easier than any other circuit, because there are components which cannot be turned off immediately, like thyristor and all. And the final point is gate has full control over the operation of MOSFET. MOSFET switch on off ആക്കാൻ ഏറ്റവും full control ചെയ്യുന്നത് gate terminal. What are the demerits of MOSFET? On-state losses in MOSFETs are high. BJT കമ്പയർ ചെയ്ത് നോക്കുമ്പോഴും MOSFETന്റെ ലോസസ് കൂടുതലാണ്. MOSFET are used only for low power applications and it suffers from static charges. അതിന്റെ മുകളിൽ നിന്ന് റബ്ബ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതൊരു ഇലക്ട്രിക് ഫീൽഡിൽ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാലോ അതിനത് എഫക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അതാണ് സ്റ്റാറ്റിക് ചാർജ് കൊണ്ടുള്ള ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട്. സോ നമുക്ക് കൺക്ലൂഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്ന എങ്ങനെയാണ്, whenever we have an application like high power low frequency application, we can go for BJT, and whenever we have low power application with a high switching frequency, we can go for MOSFET. Now the applications of MOSFET sorry, it is used in low power inverter. It is also used in switch mode power supply. It is used in choppers. Choppers is nothing but DC to DC converter. It is also used in low power AC DC drives. That is, whenever low power is there, it is better to use MOSFET. Whenever we need to switch at high frequency, it is better to use MOSFET. So that is about today's class. Okay, thank you for listening.